Hello, I'm Dr. Mystic, and welcome to this edition of the St. Jude Thaddeus story. And today we're going to be talking about the Shroud of Turin. And this is Newsmax magazine, and it has, we see half the Shroud of Turin, and we see someone trying to reconstruct the face of Jesus based on the image of the shroud. So in Turin, Italy, we have a about 4 foot by 14-foot long shroud, which is believed to have wrapped the body of Jesus Christ. And the image of Jesus, and showing a testimony of all of his wounds from the crucifixion, is depicted upon the shroud. And it's very mysterious and controversial relic. And as I said, it's not even displayed too often, maybe once every 5 to 10 years. Is the church open to the public where people can come in and view this spectacular relic. Now, it's controversial, and you look at it, it's hard to explain how this image was created. And it's very controversial. Some people try to say, no, it's a work of art or is a forgery. But the skeptics haven't been able to come up with a good explanation of how this mysterious image was created. Now, one of the reformers, which is John Calvin, I mean, already back when he was in Geneva, uh, reforming the church, if that's what you want to call it, the Shroud of Turin was already well known, and he commented on it, saying, "Well, if this was the genuine shroud, it's such a sensational and significant relic. How come it's not mentioned in the Bible? Surely, if something as significant as the burial cloth bearing his blood-stained image would merit mention in the scriptures." Well, maybe not. Maybe it is alluded to in certain places. Like my father had that scripture where it says that there are many indisputable proofs of the resurrection. And my father thinking, well, that maybe that's one of the places talking about the shroud. But probably the reference to the shroud is not in the scripture itself, but in the writings of the early church fathers and the Acts of the Apostles. Now, the apocryphal Acts, or the additional Acts of the Apostles. Now, there's the story of St. Jude Thaddeus and St. Mari, his disciple, and how they traveled to the east. And connected with the story is the story of what's called the Holy Image of Edessa, or the Mandalion, which is an image of the face of Jesus. And according to the Aramaic Acts of Mari, it's an image not made by hand, so it's not a painting, it's a miraculous image. So those people who believe in the authenticity of the shroud appeal to the story of St. Jude, saying that when St. Jude went to Abgar, he carried this image according to the earliest sources. And that image was kept in Edessa until it was taken by the Byzantines to Constantinople. And then the theory is that the Crusaders, you had the sacking of Byzantium, or the sacking of Constantinople, where they took all the valuables, including sacred relics, and they carried them away as spoils of war to Europe. And that's where finally the people associated with the shroud and the shroud itself finally entered into the historical record. But the Catholic Church has taken no official position on the authenticity of the shroud. They just say that it is a relic through which you can reflect on the sufferings of Christ, without saying if it's the genuine article or not. It's just a tool of meditation and meditation on the wounds of Jesus. But many people do believe it's authentic. And as I said before, if it was forged or created by an artist, it's that skill of the artist is something that confounds the greatest scientific minds of today. And it's hard for me to believe that someone in the Middle Ages could have created such a work of art, if that's what you want to consider it, or how someone in the Middle Ages could perplex scientists today. And people claim, oh, they figured out how the artist created the shroud. Some people say, well, it's not really a fraud, it was just a work of art. But these skeptics have not explained how the image was created. So it's still, and then there's no evidence. There's no evidence of who the artist was or when it was created. It's just all speculation. But the Shroud of Turin has inspired many people, and it's attracted people to the story of St. Jude Thaddeus. And that's why we have my book and the project I worked on with my brother Josiah, St. Jude Thaddeus and the Legend of the Shroud. And I have the book that goes along with that, so people can learn about the shroud and its significance, and learn about the story of St. Jude in the scriptures, but also in the writings of the early church fathers. So remember, If you want more information about St. Jude, my series is on the YouTube channel, Apostolic Productions, but I'm moving it to um, Dr. Mystic on Rumble, because YouTube is a platform that applies very heavy-handed censorship. If you're Christian or traditional or conservative, they take your channel down or they shadow ban it. They run algorithms so people can't see it. They'll promote Marxism, socialism, depravity, wickedness, hate, but they don't want truth of the gospel out there. These wicked people that control YouTube. So that's why I'm going to Rumble, which is more of a free speech platform. We don't have to worry about getting strikes or deplatformed or shadow banned. So if you're interested in the life and story of St. Jude, you can check out the content there, because that's where all the new St. Jude Thaddeus videos are going to be. And I guess that's where I'm going to premiere the movie, and pray that we stay on course, that stay on track, and get the completed movie out this year by October 28th, which is the feast day of St. Simon and St. Jude. So thank you, and God bless you, and hope to see you soon.